Yo.
What's going on?
Hey. How's it going,
It is grand.
peeps?
Did we come up with a name for our fans?
We did actually.
We
Are we
did.
going to talk about that right now? How are we going to drop that on the
Hey
people?
guys, by the way, if you listen to this podcast, you're called just say it,
2%er.
a 2%.
You're just going to say it like that?
I'm sorry. Did you want me to say it bigger?
There was no build
You
up.
just said it like so boring, like, hey, you're a 2%er.
We need some kind of build up to it. I'm being serious. We need like a drum
I know
roll or
we are.
something.
Okay, let's do it again.
You don't have like a drum roll? We didn't get that preset? We should have had a drum roll.
I'm sorry. You don't want to do it again?
Forget what you just heard.
Wrong drum roll.
You don't have a
Oh,
drum
sorry.
roll, do you?
No, I do. I don't have a drum roll.
He doesn't.
Okay, y'all
have
ready
one.
for this? What do we... Chandler, you say it.
We're
No,
gonna
not
make
the
our
drum
own.
roll. No.
Hey, if you listen to this podcast, you're a
2%er.
That's
That was
it.
good.
That's
it.
Why are they
That's
called
the thing.
2%ers though?
Because
we have
let
to
me-
break that down.
Let me break this down for you real quick.
Okay,
Okay?
go ahead.
This is the thing. 1% and skim is just a watered down crap. Nobody like when
mean,
you're asking for advice or when
yeah.
you're living life, you don't want it to be watered down.
Oh.
You don't want the watered down truth.
No.
Not really.
no.
You,
Not really.
you think you do, but not really.
And then you get it, and you're like, this tastes like crap.
Exactly. You might as well pour tap
You're
water.
like, is
in
this
your
actually
cereal.
milk? You're like, is this milk?
It's not.
Yeah.
Then vitamin D. Go outside.
Yeah. Just
You got
soak
sun
up
outside.
the sun. Or drink Sunny D.
Okay. And then people are like, well, why aren't we called whole milkers? Because this is the thing,
I don't know
guys.
about that.
This is real talk. We're not going to be made fully whole
Whole.
until Jesus comes back.
Oh.
That's the real talk. So we
You just-
call ourselves 2%ers.
Just got me right.
Chan,
in
are
the
you
hole.
fanning yourself?
I'm doing the Pentecostal wave.
Fire.
Yes, Bishop.
So what
Fan
I'm
the
saying-
flame. Yes, Lord.
So what we're saying is, if we can be 2% better than we were yesterday, in our chasing our dreams and becoming more honest with who we are and who we are in this world, and having 2% more joy,
Almost like 110%.
No, look,
102.
But
Fif-
102.
50
No,
days from
But
now,
no, but what? 50 days from now?
you'd be at 100%.
Chandler,
Exactly.
You're so smart.
And how long does it take to form a habit? They say like
27.
no, they say 30, but other people have said like
Say
it takes
50?
like it takes a whole 3 months at least. 90
that's
days
60.
I've heard.
So that has nothing to do with 2%.
60.
Okay,
I didn't say
let's-
six. No,
hey.
I said 90.
90.
90 and 60?
Oh, 90.
You go 90, I go 10.
90?
Right?
They're very different sounds.
What are we talking about now?
We're talking about our listeners who listen to this podcast are called
2%ers.
2%ers.
And we're so glad you're listening. This is the Milkman Made Me.
No,
Hold on. I was just going to say this is the Milkman Made Me
Okay.
podcast, season 2, episode 4. My name is Connor.
I'm Chandler.
I'm Spencer.
This is...
The
Is it-
Milkman Made Me.
Is that... Oh, God.
What? See, we spent so much time making up this
We
great
just wanted to
intro.
say hello to you guys properly, to you 2%ers. But now we forgot our new intro that we do.
I mean, but I wasn't here last week, so that
Yeah.
It's okay. Hey, you know what? Just
No,
say,
not last week. Yeah, that's right.
Just say hi to the 2%ers.
Hey, 2%ers.
Who made you? What made me? Mix it all together, we get society. The milkman made me. Fresh perspective, chasing our dreams. Whole lot of joy and honesty. The milkman made me. The milkman made me.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
We're back from this intro, and it's Connor's turn to take over where we're going next, but he's texting.
No, I'm making a post on Instagram.
That's even better.
Even better. All right, guys. So, as you know, we've mentioned before, we have a lot of new amazing segments. We've done a couple here and there, sprinkled in. Have we? What have we really done?
We made the new segment 2 minutes to talk.
We did. Okay, we did that,
But that's about it.
and we got the new music And
No, we've
been using that. And another great segment that we have is called Clear Your Queue. And so here it is, Clear Your Queue. Wow.
We all have those movies and TV shows we seem interested in and saved to our queue and never watch. Well, this segment serves as an accountability to watch those shows. This is Clear Your Queue.
Okay, so I thought we didn't really know what this was, but now you have like a whole bio thing for it. So what is it really?
If we don't know what it is, then why are we doing it?
Look,
Let's hashtag clear your queue this out. Like, let's hash this out.
we need to clear
like
this
that.
out and figure it out. Well,
Hashtag
okay,
clear your queue.
So in my opinion,
So in my opinion, okay, you go first.
I was going first.
Okay,
Thank you.
go ahead.
But could I take a minute to share my opinion?
After me.
After
Okay.
he goes.
My opinion is that Clear Your Queue should be about things that you put on your Netflix queue, your Hulu queue, your Disney Plus queue, whatever queue you got out there.
Okay.
And you put it on there and you're like, yeah, I've heard this is really good. People told me to watch it. I got to watch it. Blah, blah, blah. And you haven't watched it in like years, maybe months, whatever, if it's like a new thing.
Okay.
But I have things on my queue I haven't watched in forever. And somebody told me I should watch it and I haven't watched it yet. Right?
Yep.
Or I just like click it because it looks interesting.
Right.
So that's what I believe is the point of this Clear Your Queue.
So you want to talk about a
So
show
I
you
can
haven't
clear it.
watched?
Show I have not
So
watched.
you want to talk about a show you haven't
then
watched?
come back.
That doesn't
no,
make
no, no,
sense.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about. We talk about it. We say the title at least, and
Okay.
then we go and watch it, and then come back and say, so I finally watched that thing. It's cleared now. Let's discuss it. And then you talk about something else that's on your queue that you haven't watched yet, and you clear that. Does that make sense?
Doesn't make sense.
Because I
at
feel
all.
like when we talked about it before, you guys didn't fully understand.
Yeah. So this is what I understood Clear Your Queue was.
Mm-hmm.
Is that we talk about movies that we haven't seen in a while, or that are classics, and that we have watched. Not, hey, we're going to talk about a movie that I'm going to watch and give my opinion about something I've never seen before.
Well, you wouldn't give your opinion until after you watch it.
So what's the segment going to be about? Hey guys, I'm going to go watch this movie.
No, I think each of us will pick one, right?
Okay.
And then we'll say, like, this is what I've heard about this. You kind of like, imagine it about what it could be about.
So is that what we're doing
Say,
today?
This is what I've heard.
Today, are we picking a movie that we're
Yeah.
going to go watch that's
Let's
on
do
our
that.
And
queue?
then next podcast episode's Clear Your Queue segment is our discussion about what we did watch.
Or maybe we're
exactly.
Or maybe sometimes we just go live on our Instagram when we're watching that movie and say, guys, these are my thoughts. So now you have to go follow us on Instagram.
Hey, that's good.
And we'll have a little highlight, Clear Your Queue highlight.
Okay.
Because we got a dope Clear Your Queue graphic that Bobby made for us too. So, see?
Well,
So what was the confusion? I remember being so upset about how we did not understand what this segment was supposed to be about.
Well, you and me, Spencer, thought it was about something that we did watch and that was in our list and that we cleared out. Connor was like, no, it's something that you haven't watched.
Okay. I mean, I'm fine with that.
I'm kind of leaning towards Connor's opinion now.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
So let's look on Netflix right now. No, we're just gonna pick one from each week. We pick something different, and we have to like watch it either separately on our different accounts. But like, we pick one thing from our list, but all of us need to watch it.
So it's from
either
your
separately.
Queue? We're going
from mine.
Okay,
from mine this time.
A movie that I don't want to watch.
That's the point.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Because there's some movies that you don't want to watch, but if you really want to broaden your horizons, that's what Clear Your Queue is all about. Getting into the deep, in the trenches of things that you haven't watched yet. So thank you for joining us on Clear Your Queue. I guess we're not picking something this time because we ran out of time for this allotted time segment. Let me pick something.
Go ahead and pick
at
it.
Random.
And then once you pick that movie, we're going to call Steven.
Okay. You guys.
And people are like, who's Steven? I'm about to tell you.
Okay. Okay, I'm just going to pick the first one I see. I don't know.
You're making this too difficult. Clear your queue, Connor. Just clear it.
Clear it. The very first one I saw is called Starship Troopers. Have it? Well, we can't pick it if none of us or any of us have seen it.
I've never seen it.
Never seen it.
Okay, Starship Troopers.
That's the Clear Queue.
1997.
Hey guys, make sure you follow us on Instagram and keep up with our review. Or maybe next time we'll talk about it.
We're going to talk about Starship Troopers.
Let's go ahead and jump further into this episode with our guest, Stephen Simpson. We're going to give him a call. He is the soon-to-be best-selling author of a book that he will tell us more about, and catch up with him. He's a childhood friend of mine and kind of, well, all three of ours a little bit. We're the same grade, but
I remember
give him a call and see what he's up to and what he's doing. And Chandler, I think you got juked or like, hold on. You might have snaked by him once.
Steven used to play football.
Like, hold on, wait, Stephen Simpson?
Yes.
Stephen Simpson.
Bro, no.
Yeah, that one and only.
He played tuba.
No.
What's going on, man?
Oh, what's going on, Steven? How you doing?
Good, man. How y'all guys doing?
Man, we're doing great.
Good, man.
It's good to have you on here. So, can you hear the disrespect that you just got right before you answered? Chandler said you played tuba. I mean, that's not disrespectful because I played tuba. But I mean, to you, as a percussionist,
he was a drummer.
He's a drummer.
I remember he played percussion, and him and oh my gosh, Jarrell.
No, Jarrell played tuba.
No, Jarrell, but you and Jarrell called me Pimp C, and I felt amazing. We were playing, we were playing football in the front yard, and y'all say, "All right, Pimp C." Okay, I didn't know. So like it just clicked who we were talking to.
Pimp C. I don't remember that one. You know what? You know what I do remember about playing football at the high school. You remember when it was like all muddy and like. We went up there and played, and I had cleats on. No one else did. And
you were serious.
Oh yeah, I was serious, man. Definitely juked out some people and went sliding in the mud. And then I think we came back Monday and found out there was some administrators like really upset, or the football team was upset because the field was torn up, and we never admitted nothing.
Yep.
Until now.
We ain't no snitches.
Now I think they've got the fake stuff on the turf now.
Yeah.
They got so it doesn't get torn up.
Yeah, it's all redone. We just drove by there.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But man, we're so grateful to have you on, joining us here on the Milkman Made Me podcast. So be honest, have you listened to any of our episodes?
I have, man. I had to check you guys out. You know, I got on it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Which one? What's an episode that you checked out that you were like, man, made you say yes? Like, you're like, I don't know, do they fit my brand or not?
You know what, man? Anything you was talking about, you know, you guys always have a close talk, man, about your father, man. I think that's awesome, bro. I learned some stuff from that.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good, man.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Like, yeah, man. It's one of those things we've I don't know. We just thought it was. When our dad's not, he's not passed on from this life. People ask us that. They say, did you start this because he's dead? And I said, no, he's not dead. He's actually been on the episodes. It is. But it's one of those things, why wait until someone's passed before you give them respect and honor?
Man, that's so big.
And so they can hear that, for themselves. And they get to kind of live in that.
Yep.
Man, enough about us because our listeners know a lot about us. We want to know a little bit more about you, kind of your basic background. How did you get to where you are? Kind of tell our listeners a little bit more about yourself. I already said you're going to be the soon-to-be bestseller. You got a book coming. But how did you get to where you are today?
Oh, man, you guys know, man, a little bit. But started off, after graduating from Mesquite, man, I went to college and stuff, drum captain. It's crazy because before the drum captain even stuff, man, was playing, I was real big into church, playing drums in church. And where we grew up at South Dallas, man, that was kind of all you kind of did. You did sports or you went to church,
Right.
Yeah.
In school, but it was outside of school was church and the basketball court or the football field, man. So,
Right.
You don't have too many options, man. You can't go outside just like that without worry about, kind of trouble waiting around the corner for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, it's crazy because when I went to Mesquite, man, it was all different for me. I was like, man, I haven't seen these many white cats like ever in my life, bro.
Right.
I was like, this is nice. This neighborhood is nice.
Yeah.
And so I liked it, man. So obviously I went to UNT, bro, and it was a different experience for me, man, because like I said, Dallas, man, just like some parts of Dallas just don't expose you to that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So after I went to UNT, man, and I got my degree in behavior analysis, working with kids with autism.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Specializing in that. Yeah, man, it was cool. I learned a lot.
Dude, that's amazing. I mean, for me, man, that definitely takes someone special. I mean, have a heart for kids and just the patience and the willingness to work with children like that are in those situations. I mean, props to you. I mean, that's not something that comes easy. And so I think about that often. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could, but props to you for doing that.
Yeah, man, it was definitely a challenge for me, man. But it's like I always talk to my wife about this, but like after all the things I have done, like working with kids with autism, like changed my life. Like it educates you, it educates you, but it also humbles you. Like a whole different level, man. Because like for my kids, I always felt like I was in a frat. They was always hazing me. You know what I'm saying? They was always testing me, man. And but one thing they do, man, they do show you is that they don't judge you off of one certain thing. They love you just for who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're not looking at you because you this color or you talk like this. And that's crazy because I think about it. None of my kids I ever worked with was like, hey, Stephen, you talk funny. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was teaching them to talk.
Yeah.
So I love that, man. I love that opportunity just to be with people, individuals that treat you just for who you are and how you treat them.
Yeah.
So, man, I did that after I graduated, man, with my degree, and I did that probably for 5 or 6 years. And I also did that when I went to like the public school systems.
Okay.
And so, yeah, man, I did that, and kind of 2 years ago, I kind of branched off and started speaking full time as a youth motivational speaker, man.
Youth,
nice.
Motivational speaker.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah, man, it kind of landed in my lap too because I was speaking. I had some schools hit me up, say, "Hey, Stephen," I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool. I'll speak." Dove all into it, kind of, say like, let's see what this takes me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
how long did you do that?
You said about 2 years ago now, right?
Yeah, I'm still doing it. Yeah.
Oh, you're still doing it.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
I'm still doing it, speaking still, and kind of, to the youth and giving back as I can, man.
That's awesome.
What does that look like right now with like since COVID hit in March and like I'm sure you probably had some speaking engagements set up earlier, for the end of the year. How did that change? Did you get to zoom into some of those or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
man. For me, man, I love the opportunity just to listen more than anything. So, I'm doing some Zooms. Hopefully I'll be back in the school maybe in the next couple of months, man, doing smaller settings.
Oh, man. Hello? Sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Yeah, it's cool, man, because I never was really doing the whole speaking stuff for like the big stage and all the social media hype that you get nowadays.
Yeah. Not like
So I
Gary
was just,
V.
yeah, I was just doing it, man, just to be a part of, somebody else's life, man, and kind of listen and help any way I can, bro. So,
Okay. So through all of this, through going off to school, through 5 or 6 years teaching in public school system, speaking the last couple of years, maybe even going back to your child, maybe even in high school, the question we like to ask and we kind of like dive in a little bit is, when was the first time that you felt sure of yourself? Like you felt like this is like, what I'm doing right now is who I am, what I'm supposed to be doing, like. And it can be the speech, going and talking to students. It can be that, or maybe it's something prior to that kind of helped be that stepping stone into your what's the word I'm looking for? Being sure of yourself, like your confidence builder. What was that first time that you felt like certain and 100% sure of yourself that kind of helped build your confidence?
yeah, man, and this is crazy, man, because for you guys, when I would listen to your podcast, you was honoring your father, man. The first time I actually said that, I'm just fine is when I spoke at my dad's funeral.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I was what 27, man, and because I gave his eulogy.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, man, because that was the hardest thing I ever did. And I promised myself, I'm like, I'm going to speak at his funeral, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to stand up there. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to break down. I'm going to speak. I'm going to stand strong. And like after that, bro, like everything started like changing the way I saw even life, man. I'm like, I'm just fine.
Yeah.
Like I was able to do that. I wasn't stumbling, it's crazy, but I was like 27 when I realized fully 110% without even trying to like say, I believed myself. I was just fine.
Yeah.
I mean, after you speak at something that big, man, you look at life different.
Yeah.
I wasn't worried about if people was listening to the way I was speaking, if I said my R's right or my M's. I wasn't doing it for none of that. I was doing it for him. So now when I speak, man, like, if somebody don't really like, oh, I understand you, Stephen, I'm not tripping on it because I'm like, I spoke at the hardest event, the moment ever in my life, and I did it just fine.
Mm-hmm. Dang, that's good.
Yeah, man. So that was like changing my life. It's crazy because my dad would always take me and drop me off to speech therapy.
Wow.
And he will always tell me stuff like, Stephen, one day you're gonna speak for people and speak for events that they need you, So he said, I want you to continue to go. He was like, It's just not for you, it's for other people.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, it changed my life because I think about that. I'm like, I wasn't just going to speech therapy for me. I was going to speech therapy so I can be strong enough one day to speak at my father's funeral.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to do that, man, but I was like, if I never really kept going, I probably was going to break down or give up. You know what I'm saying? Like I needed to have that confidence, and I did, man.
Yeah. So
that was that one moment though.
Man, that's super.
That's impactful in the sense that you were talking about, like when you were younger. So I don't know if you knew this from when we knew each other, but like I went through speech therapy too. And I think what you're I'll kind of echo what you're saying, dude. Like our greatest challenges that we faced when we were kids were the things that are now setting us up to walk into the success that we have today. Like, for instance, I mean, I just got back from a trip. I'm going to talk about it at the end, but I got to speak at a church, and like, had I not gone through what I'd gone through when I was younger and been pushed and encouraged and pressed into kind of that deep training and going through that process, like now I'm set up where those opportunities are presenting themselves in such profound ways. And it's crazy because this thing used to be such a challenge, but now it's actually something that I'm being accelerated into. I don't know if this is for you, or if this is what you do, but me personally, anytime that I hear that somebody is a speech pathologist, which is a really hard word to say if you have a speech impediment, But
And
anytime
speech impediment.
impediment's tough too.
Impediment, that's not easy to say.
You know, so we going through that, bro. But anytime I find out anybody who works in that industry, I always look at them and I say thank you, because if it weren't for you, I would not be in the position that I'm in today.
Boom.
Like,
SLPs.
So it's major. It's major, and so that's kind of cool to hear the similarity there.
Shannon, let me ask you this, man.
Mm-hmm.
What was your like struggles like, far as what was your sounds, man? Because I struggle with my R's, man. Like to this day, I still struggle with my R's, but that was like my biggest thing. My R's, like my M's. I stutter. Like when I was younger, man, I stuttered really bad. And bro, like kids, man, I remember I had a fight over this, bro.
It was rough.
Like kids would be like, stupid. They, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, you going to get it one day,
right,
man?
For me, it was like the S's. Like I couldn't say Spencer's name; it would be Pincer.
Okay.
So you know,
he used to call me Pincer.
I'm trying to think of any other like letters.
You didn't hit your D's. I remember you always saying sandwich.
Oh, sandwich, yeah. I want to
I
want a sandwich.
Gotcha.
So like just different. What's crazy is your last name. I would always call it the Simpsons. So it's Simpsons, and it's like I would mess up with that because there were so many S's in that word. So
gotcha.
Yeah, you know, but going through like therapy at school, you know, you'd get pulled out of class, and dude, that confidence factor was really strange, because you would, you know, like here you are, you're struggling and your other peers aren't, and you're getting pulled out of class, going through all these diagnostics, and you're like, am I stupid? Like, am I dumb? But the reality is like, and I kind of now see it as a blessing. That's why I think people who are in that industry, it's like I was actually being set apart to be trained and equipped for what the Lord knew that I was going to be executing in the future. Like, so it's actually a major blessing that, you know, schools had that offered. And
man.
So it's been amazing. And now, you know, getting into it, I just turned 26, so I'm a little younger, but now these opportunities to speak, even this past week when I was out, it's like it's the same thing. They're falling into my lap. Like, I spoke at one church, and then like Monday I was having a discussion with another pastor, and he was like, hey, come and speak to our youth group Wednesday night. Like, it was like,
that's dope,
you know, where is this coming from? Like, it's so cool. So
that's dope, man.
Like, yeah.
Man, and I love it, bro, because first of all, you got a team behind you, man. You got your squad, you got your brothers, bro. Cause Chandler, man, you the youngest, you the youngest?
Yeah,
right?
I'm the youngest, right?
Yeah. See, that's how I was, man. I was a baby boy, and I had my older brother, man. But I ain't gonna lie, I talk about my older brother in my book, man. Like, without him, bro, I wouldn't even continue to kind of find that confidence, because a lot of people talked about me, man. But, and I ain't gonna lie, when I was younger, bro, I was a crybaby. I used to cry. I used to come home and cry, man. And my brother would tough me up. He like, bro, you are just fine, man. You can't let people talk about you like that, first of all. But he would always say, man, you have to stop letting people bring you down like that. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
And like just having an older brother, man, because you know, he didn't talk, he have struggles with that, but he really sympathized with me, you know?
Yeah.
In the room, man, like 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock at night, bro. He's like, bro, you have to start believing in yourself, man. I think that was even put me in a position now to where I am, man. Like having like the older bros behind me, man, it really made an impact, man. So I think that's cool, man. Y'all got, you know, the big three behind you guys, man.
Yeah, man. You know, we're trying to do it. We're trying to keep it going. But hey, man, before we go any further, we're gonna cut away to a commercial, and we're gonna come back.
Please.
And you're gonna love these commercials. All our listeners do. So when we come back, you're gonna hear it, and then we'll continue the conversation.
Cool, man.
Hey, what's going on? This is Spencer Gunnels. That's right, from the podcast you're listening to right now, the Milkman Made Me podcast. And if this is your first time you're joining us, we welcome you and thank you for giving us your time.
Thank you.
If this is your 23rd time joining us, we are so thankful for the continued support.
Thank you. We
ask that you please take the time to go and subscribe and follow us wherever you get your podcast, and go ahead and leave us a review while you're at it.
Yeah, please tell us what you like, what you don't like. You know, we just want to know.
Hey, and we want to make sure you know that your friends know that everyone knows that we are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio,
Yell it from the
Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Deezer, TuneIn, Alexa, and Listen Notes.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of wonderful places. And did I mention YouTube?
Wow.
That's right. You can listen to us in all the places now. So there's no reason you should not enjoy the Milkman Made Me podcast.
Wow. Right on, right on. Please follow us, people. We'd love to see you. All right. So, Stephen.
Yep.
Here we go into our next fun little thing. We're going to talk about some serious things, but we got some fun here at this podcast too. So now we're about to jump into a rapid fire, rapid answer, question and answer. What are your favorites? Favorite questions. Okay. So we're going to start a timer, and hopefully I know when it actually starts. Did it already start? Wait, start it over.
It's starting.
Hold on. Okay, go. Here we go. Favorite day of the week?
Friday.
Okay, there we go. Favorite hobby?
Working out.
Favorite way to cheer you up?
Eat some Chinese food.
Oh, nice. Favorite way to relax?
Eat some Chinese food.
Favorite cologne?
Polo.
All right. Favorite piece of clothing?
Oh man. Tank top.
What was your favorite thing about school?
Dodgeball.
Favorite superhero?
Superman.
Favorite fairy tale?
The Three Little Pigs.
Nice. Okay, favorite Olympic sport?
Swimming.
Nice. Wow.
Man,
I got chills. You did great. Great job,
Yeah,
Steven. You did awesome.
You knocked it out of the park. One of those we got to actually count and keep up with how many people how many people get in the 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the best guest we've ever had to answer them?
That was so intense. I'm sweating.
Man.
I don't know why. That was so.
That was good, man.
You did awesome, man.
He's sweating over.
Wow.
Jeez.
Because I have a list that I'm just randomly going through. People might think that I already created a list, but it's as random to you as it is to me. I'm just reading because I don't want it to be the same every time. It might be.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, did awesome.
I like
that was great.
I like it.
Yeah, we like to lighten it up just a little bit before we kind of go into kind of breaking down, growing up and what our podcast is all about, talking about our father and the impact he had on our life. And, for me, I did not know that your dad had passed away. And that's kind of, the uncertainty of when we come into these conversations. I've asked myself, I've thought about, should we ask our listener or ask the person we're interviewing about their father's situation before we bring them on, or just raw, just go into it raw and just talk about it, whatever that might be, whether it was good, whether it was bad, whether it was non-existent, whatever. And I thought, man, the best way to do it, I think, is just to go into it and, find these things out like we found out today and kind of have that real conversation for people, because sometimes, that can be such a, you find that out, and often sometimes when we find out a friend or someone we're talking to, they say, my parents passed away, and we say, oh, we're so sorry. And we just find ourselves in this awkward situation. So why don't we just approach it live and say, okay, what do we do in those situations? So for me, man, and that's so surreal in our conversation that would be the moment that you find yourself so sure of yourself as well. And so for me, kind of tell us a little bit about growing up, what your father meant to you, what that relationship looked like, maybe some of the things he taught you, life lessons, but just kind of talk to us about what did that look like and how did that impact you today? I mean, obviously, being sure of yourself, but before that, what was it like?
Yeah, man. So I mean, obviously, one thing I talked about in my book as well, man, is that how well, we grew up from, especially in South Dallas, but in a lot of neighborhoods, man, it's kind of tough, man. You know, it's a thing, and it's real in a lot of ways that you grow up without a father, like a black man, black kid. So a lot of people will assume it. I actually had people that just assumed that I lived with my mom and my grandmother. Just assume because didn't think I had a dad. I'm like, my dad was in my life from the very first day I was born.
Yeah.
And yeah, we didn't live in the best neighborhood right away, but that didn't take away how he loved us, how he treated us. I mean, he was there with us, man, like every single day. You just didn't see that growing up. The sacrifice, the praying with us. He would pick me up. My dad was very affectionate, and you would see that a lot of times just from males.
Right.
Right.
And what I'm saying? Like, he was the guy that be picking us up, man. And I remember him picking me up, putting on his back, or sleeping for a little bit. We had little blow matches. Sleeping on our blow mattress with me and my brother, man, just reading to us.
Yeah.
But just those moments, man. And see, when we around 5, 6, man, my dad got really sick. He been battling with a couple of sickness for a while, man. Diabetes was a whole different level for him, and people thought that if you had diabetes, it's because of you was eating bad.
Yeah.
Right.
And it really is, because I was like, dang, Dad, stop eating bad. But he told us, he said, no, it's his blood sugar, his level just wasn't a balance right for him. And it was a battle, man. And he was in the hospital. He was on life support 4 times, man, from the time I was 6 all the way till I was like 11.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Because even
That's crazy.
yeah, even because one reason was that his blood sugars got so low that his wasn't pumping enough blood and stuff to his heart. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, man. But you know what? Even through those moments, man, he was always so present with us. Praying with us. And I think that's the biggest thing, man, I got from my dad, man. How he prayed just not for us, but for other people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was pretty cool, man. Like he was the main foundation to the whole family.
That's awesome.
So even when I got older, I was like, man, I saw him in the hospital so much, and I would say these prayers like, God, please just let him be there, like speech therapy.
Yeah.
And obviously I did. So right, then I said, man, I want my dad to be able to see me to graduate high school, and he did. And then I said, God, I want be able to see my dad, for me to graduate my degree. And I did. Yeah. And the biggest thing, I was like, man, God, I want my dad to be at my wedding. But it's crazy because during my wedding, we found he had kidney disease.
Oh man.
It took a when we had kidney disease. I was telling my wife, I'm like, babe, I don't think he's gonna make it out of this one, But man, and 2 years later, obviously he passed. But during my childhood, man, he was the guy that I kind of got all my sense of humor from, man.
That's good.
So yeah, man, he was a fun. We had fun guy. People ask me now. I remember when I go speak to schools, they're like, Stephen, how can you don't get emotional about it like that? Because I said, well, when I speak about him, I want to really give out like his legacy and what he meant to me. Yes, it's obviously hard, obviously knowing he's not there, but he was so much more than just that moment when he passed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely,
yeah.
definitely.
There's absolutely. I mean, that's you were 27 years old. There's so much time.
Yeah, man.
There's so much time before that, and so, man, you talked about how your dad is a praying dad, and one of the questions we asked last week, and we thought, man, this is a solid question we want to continue to ask, but how do you think your relationship with your earthly father ultimately impacts and today your like how you see your Father God in heaven?
Yeah, it's man, it has impacted like tremendously, man. Like because of him, I was able to find trust in God alone. You know what I'm saying? Like be able to pray to him when I was alone.
Right.
And to be patient, because I saw my dad be patient, man. And I think the best thing that happened was that because when people get sick, sometimes you think that if you pray and do this, you're supposed to get this result, which is healing. And when it don't work out for you, then people get so upset or they turn their backs on God.
Right.
It's crazy because like it was the opposite with my dad, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was talking to somebody about this. Like, stuff got worse for him. Like, I was like, this is getting worse.
Yeah.
But he was consistent.
Right.
He was, what I'm saying? He was consistent in the way he treated people, consistent in the way he prayed. I'm like, Dad, what I'm saying? You be praying hard in the champ, but you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff ain't working out. But he would never waver on that, man. And that's how I am now. I'm like, yep, it's bad. It probably get worse, but that doesn't mean that we don't serve a faithful God.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I see, man, like so much stuff going on. I'm like, I know that all people not bad. I know that, God still loves us, even though this world is showing us a whole different side and different way. But that doesn't mean God isn't still for us and with us. You know what I'm saying?
So, Stephen, with that as the background, the faithful God we serve and everything you just said, and you're talking about right now, the world we live in, and you've mentioned it, growing up in South Dallas where you grew up and the different things that you've maybe had to deal with as a black man. Like, can we just talk about that for a minute? Like what that's looked like and, sorry, I'm getting a phone call over here.
This happened last episode.
I know. I need to figure out how to. I know. I'm sorry. We'll let it pass here a minute. But as we're getting more serious, we get this random phone call here. But a potential spam is what it says. The devil gonna try to do it today. He's trying to call and break up this hard conversation right now. That's why I'm here. But what I want to ask you, man, what has the last, several years, as it's become more apparent to me and my brothers, being white men, become more clear to us, like what you, our black brother, has to go through and has been through. Kind of speak on that. Like, what has been your reaction to all this?
Man, I'll be honest with you guys, a lot of aggravation and frustration has set in.
Yeah.
Because it's funny because, as I talked to some of my other black brothers, man, we was like, this stuff been going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. It just hasn't been on the media. It hasn't been on social media, man. I remember my father telling us, you say yes, sir, no, sir, to the police officers. Yeah. You look them in the eye, don't you move because they will shoot you. Actually saying that. He always told us that. Like we couldn't go out the house wearing a do-rag. Now you see, people in the videos wearing do-rags and the sagging. Yeah. That wasn't reality, man, because in South Dallas in the streets, if you weren't a do-rag and you sagging, you probably was what? Selling drugs in the gang. So they're gonna pull you over.
Yeah.
So now it's a thing like you're not even doing nothing. You get pulled over. And when you do get pulled over, you know what I'm saying? You can possibly lose your life, man. And for me, it's really has become an aggravation and more than anything, but sad to know like people now just believing like, oh my God, it's really happened. Like it's been happening.
So because growing up, you have close friends who have police officers in their family that are black men. Mm-hmm. So how do you distinguish and like kind of work through that, as far as like how you see the police and then you've got these like close friends of yours and basically family. I would go as far as say family, and maybe you have family in your, I don't know if you personally have family that are police officers, but like then how do you work through that, with all that's going on as well?
Yeah, I work through it a couple ways. First of all, I know that I cannot put one person action for the entire world of police officers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's very clear, especially as a leader, man. I believe that. I'm like, because I know the white brothers, man, that's been on my side, that has, helped me and prayed for me, man. And I know what they believe in. And to be honest, guys, like I think another thing is be able to be educated for myself, and to be able to be in a place in my position to be able to start removing people that probably don't see the same values or don't see or kind of blind by it. So I do. I'm not on social media all the time because it's so negative, man. Because now people, it's always a rebuttal for stuff, you
Yeah.
know. Um, so
Instead of
it's
just trying to
hard.
understand, right?
Yeah,
Just
it's
having
just
empathy.
it's an understanding, man. Because
Yeah.
this stuff is sad, and I'm gonna tell you guys a story, man. I think your listeners probably enjoy it, man. But when I was I had twice. Me and my wife had this once, but I had this twice. It was pretty bad. When I was at a school district, I worked in the behavior unit. Now, the behavior unit, it had obviously boys with aggressions and, that like to fight and curse,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so one of the boys, he decided that he was going to get up and leave my class. And when he left it, he walked out into the building. So he walked out. This school, this is a school now. Like he just walked up. I'm like, hey, bro, you can't be walking out. And he started trying to fight.
What grade is this?
This is middle school.
Okay.
Now he tried to start fighting us. Me and my TA, and nobody was around. So he just left the school building. And I'm like, God dang it, I have to go get him because I don't want nothing to happen to him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's running down the streets like full blown. He's running down the streets, and I'm like, bro, you need to come back in, man. You about to get hit by a car. He cursing at us. It's a bad scene. Like cars is passing us by, and it got really bad. I mean, he started trying to full blown fighting like a grown man. Now he's a big guy. He's probably he was 6'1", probably 200 pounds. He's a big kid.
Yeah.
But he's a mixed kid. Now he's a mix. He's a mixed kid, And all I know, man, we walked like 2 miles trying to get this guy. My phone fell off me. My phone broke.
Dang.
My TA phone broke. I mean, we running.
Oh my God.
And so now we too far from the school. So I'm trying to physically pull him back. I'm like, man, nobody's going to know we out here. This is going to be bad. So sure enough, man, this police officer rolled up on us on the curve, going probably 40 miles per hour.
Oh man.
On the curve, and guns drawn, cursing at us, full blown, every curse word you can think of.
Yeah.
Cursing me and my TA. Now my TA is a black guy too. And put your hands up. All the curse words in the world. Get on the ground. If you move, they for real. This is quote. If you move, I'll blow your boom boom head off. All this stuff. And I was telling my TA, I said, hey bro, don't move, man. They're gonna shoot us. She's like, I ain't gonna move. Get on the ground. I mean, we had to do the whole thing, hands behind our back.
Wow.
And now this is a crazy thing, man. That's why I love my youth, and I tell them about their voices. The little kid, my little guy that was acting a fool, he was like, please don't shoot him. Please, it's my fault. He was screaming, please don't shoot him. I mean, screaming, crying. He's like, don't do him, please. And the officers, they asked him, are you okay? They're like, yes, it's my fault. That's not them. And so I said, hey, I'm a teacher. They was like, okay, they got us up. And it was like, oh, I'm sorry, man. They did. It was a black officer and a white male officer, a black lady officer and a white male.
Yeah.
And the black woman officer said, well, it was reports of 2 black males trying to kill a kid.
Oh my gosh.
And she said, that's all we got. And I said, trying to kill him? She said, somebody said 2 black guys trying to kill a white kid.
Golly.
And I said this, and I said, that's why you was cursing at us like that. She said, yeah. I'm like, so you was about to shoot us because you just thought we was killing. I mean, that's crazy. So man, anyways, it just kind of realized that any moment, man, my life could have been taken away from me.
Yeah. I think that really puts the responsibility on the people that call that in. Yeah. That they don't jump to a conclusion based on their perception of, they see these 2 black men running.
And that's why I hate the statement perception is reality. People say that a lot. But it's like, no, your perception is your perception. And the reality is that you were actually not endangering this child. You were actually trying to prevent him from being harmed.
Yeah.
And so because of someone's perception and from their outside perspective, it can go a horrible direction. And
yeah, man,
I think that's where it really comes into pressing into prayer, pressing into that place of intercession, to see a reform, to see an adjustment in the way that justice is handled, like truly.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, and prayer and trusting God through all of this is definitely something that's important. But I don't mean to step on what you just said, but I would think that we need to not miss the opportunity to actually speak, because that was man, that white pastors or white slave owners told black pastors back in the day when they still had slaves, said you can't say these certain things. They had the slave Bible. Mm-hmm. So basically it was, hey, be quiet, just pray that God will get you through this. And that was a trick of a way to keep black people silent. And so as much as we want to say prayer is important, that's all well and good, but there comes a time that we do need to actually step up and see action and movement.
Oh yeah, no.
And so I don't think Chandler's saying we don't need that.
No, yeah.
But the first step is prayer. I just wanted to make sure that our thought wasn't the thought wasn't, hey
pray
guys,
yourself
just
through it.
Just pray yourself through it.
Hey, pray that the appropriate actions begin to like present themselves effectively, that the right conversations begin to be had, that people are starting to have these tough discussions, because you realize, wait, like we were talking about this the other day in the realm of like even politics. Like it's like you sit down with a Democrat. Mm-hmm. And then you sit down, you're a Republican, you sit and you start to have a discussion with each other, and you find out that your values actually line up with each other. But the only reason you have a difference of opinion is because of what you're consuming through the media. Yeah. It's like, man, I only disagree with you because CNN says I need to. Well, I only disagree with you because Fox is telling me I need to. Yeah. But we actually agree in the same values. Like,
that's so true, man.
It's bizarre, you know. So,
man.
Yeah, and this is another thing, man. I always try to say is that that's why I'm so big on, when I love it, man, when you guys talking about just stepping up, like, because when I was a youth pastor, man, I used to say that it's cool, like, let's not get it twisted. Praying is all that's perfect, that's great. Mm-hmm. But listen, prayer without action and faith it won't work. No. We have to have action. That's why I don't get caught up, man. When yes, we protest, but listen, when it's time to really step up and do what we need to do, the voting, getting out there and really doing it, that stuff that really matters, man. And I think for me, just not as me, and I speak for some other brothers that I have spoke to, like they get so upset with the church with just this whole thought, like we'll just pray that one day black brothers and sisters won't get shot. We'll just pray it. Like, no. Yeah, like that's not the God we serve, because you go back to the Bible. God just say, hey, Moses, just pray that the people will get released. You know what I'm saying?
No. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like God was up there saying, hey, Moses, go over there, let them know what's about, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff is about to happen. We need stuff to happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can't just pray it. We need stuff to actually feel it's going to happen through the wisdom that God give us. Yeah. So it's not like you just be at the crib, like, I'm just going to pray in my closet office for 3 hours.
Yeah. Man, Stephen, is all of your family... Are all of y'all preachers? Like, I recently found out, I put 2 and 2 together, and I saw a comment that B. Chris Simpson, one of my buddies from Harding,
man,
and he was a big impact and influence on my life. Y'all are cousins.
Yeah, first cousins.
But like more than that, you said no. We grew up together. Like, we have cousins, but we're kind of spread across the DFW, so we see each other holidays. And the last couple of years, we've gotten first Sundays, family lunches. But I mean, you said you made it sound like y'all were cousins in the kind of same neighborhood and got to grow up together.
Yeah, man. Straight in South Dallas, bro. JJ Rose. You had JJ Rose, man. I mean, you had some cats go to Lincoln High School, man. Oak Cliff. Oh yeah.
Oak Cliff. So, I remember Chris talking about Oak Cliff. I mean,
Oak Cliff. That's the neighborhood, man. And we saw each other all the time, man. I mean, so this whole stuff we talking about now, man, even our fathers, it was very close, man. So like this stuff we talking about now, that's why I actually want to make sure, guys, I appreciate you guys coming on, man, because I was telling my wife, for us to win as even a black community, we have to be willing to continue to speak to our white brothers and sisters, knowing that we are not we are not alone. I know, like, real, like, social media can probably sometimes show that we just alone, but it's not, man. I know that.
Yeah.
Even though it can get blurry, because when you have, like, I have some close friends, man, that have decided, like, I'm not going to vote. I don't believe in nobody. Evil is evil. I'm like, but you have to we have to stand for something.
Yeah.
If we don't stand for something, we'll continue to fall.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody is perfect. Like, I'm trying to tell you right now, I ain't saying that the president we have is going to right now is perfect. I'm not saying the other. I'm saying, but we have to stand for something.
Right.
Yeah.
And doing nothing is not standing for something, in my opinion, guys. I'm just being honest.
If you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing. That's the saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, we have to, guys. Like, we have to just think if the church can all stand, say, we're gonna stand for this. It needs to stop.
Right.
Yeah. It has to stop, man. Because, like, for me, even my good brother, man, he was like, when he go to church now, if he listens to a white pastor be trying to speak about, just praying and have faith, you shut him out.
Yeah.
Because what happened is, when you go back out in the streets and you see a cop, you nervous. Like, for real, nervous. And it's like, am I going to get pulled over? Like, now for me, I have a phone stand on my car that I have already placed. That if I ever get pulled over, I just place it and start the video. It's crazy that I even have to say that, but man, I do.
I'm sorry that you have to live in a world where you have to do that. You feel like you have to do that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna get emotional if we keep talking about it. Yeah, I'm gonna get emotional if we keep talking about it. Which, praise God that I am.
Yeah, man.
Because I mean, that tells you a lot about the way we were raised, the household we were in, and man, it's
man, and this is me. This is me to any of the listeners, man, even like to you guys, man. I love it because I believed a long time ago that we have, this is our fight, man. This is a long war. We have battles.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, it's a good time to switch over, but like even my speech therapy, man, I talk about the battles.
Mm-hmm.
We all have these battles, and we have to be willing to not retreat. Like, like me going speech therapy, I was like, I'm not going back.
Yeah. Let's do this, Stephen. Let's do this. All right. I don't mean to cut you off. Let's do this. We're going to cut to a commercial real quick.
Okay.
When we cut back, we're going to have a final 3 questions for you. And then we're going to give you all the opportunity to talk about the book and what you really want people to capture from that when we come back after this. Okay.
I love you, man.
All right. Let's do it. Where is it? Hey, Connor.
Hey.
Oh, Chandler, do you smell his breath?
Oh, it smells amazing.
What?
What are you drinking over there?
Oh, it's just legacy from Moravian Coffee.
Oh, wow.
Moravian Coffee. Coffee breath you want to smell.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, guys. If you've been listening to our podcast, you know we love coffee and we love milk.
Yes.
If you want 10% off your purchase at Moravian.com.
Or MoravianCoffee.com.
MoravianCoffee.com.
There you go.
Go at the checkout on the promo code thing. What do they call that promo code thing?
Promo code?
Yeah.
Use the promo code MILK
Yes.
for 10% off.
And don't be like our former listeners who listen to our podcast, hear the commercial, and then still don't use the promo code.
You got to use the promo code. It's amazing.
That's MoravianCoffee.com, promo code MILK for 10% off today.
Man, Stephen, do you drink coffee?
I don't, man.
You don't? Oh, man.
It's all right.
Okay.
It's okay.
That's okay, but Moravian Coffee.
I got it.
No, they're local. They're local.
Okay.
So we got to back them and support them. And it's actually really good coffee, too. So
Okay.
if you drink coffee, then there you go. If not, it's okay. All right, Chandler's going to take you through our final 3 questions that we take all of our interviewer guests. How do we talk about
They're
it?
our guests.
Our guests.
They are guests.
We take all of our guests to these final 3 questions.
Yeah.
And Chandler's going to take you through them. Here you go.
All right. Question number 1 is a would you rather question.
Let's do it.
So would you rather be able to eat all of the potatoes you wanted without gaining weight, or eat all of the ice cream you would want to be able to eat without gaining weight? And the potatoes can be any way, like mashed,
Ice. Let's do it.
Any kind of ice cream too.
I would rather do ice cream.
Ice cream? All right, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I get it.
He came up with that question. I said, well, yeah, Steven's actually a chef too. They were like, man, you're holding back all these things. Because I said, yeah, he's a drummer. You know, he's an author. He's a speaker. And then, boom, he's a chef too.
Oh, man.
Wow.
All right, Chandler, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. Now, if you could have dinner with one person that's passed on from this life, who would it be and why?
That's a good one, man. Let's see. I would do my sister that I lost, man, early on. So, yeah, you know, obviously my dad, man, but, you know, I'll do my sister so I can talk to her, check in with her again.
Mm-hmm. Dang.
So
I'm trying. So, yeah.
When did you lose your sister?
I lost my sister when I was 13.
Wow.
She had a pass from a blood clot, man.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
She was older or younger?
She was older.
Okay. Oldest.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was her and then Dwayne.
Mm-hmm.
Then you.
Yep.
Got you.
Right on.
That's a good woman.
Okay, now let's see. Now, if you could go back to your younger self, and I feel like I know the answer to this question, and give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
Man, so many. It's start believing myself. Tell myself I'm just fine early on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Straight up, man. I was like, man, I spent so long, man, you know, doubting myself and wishing that I was this person, trying to talk like this person. Yeah.
Well,
That's
what I
good.
would tell myself. Yeah.
Boom. There it is. The final 3 questions. You made it through safely without a scratch. And, for that, you're going to get a round of applause.
don't you have a sound?
I thought I did, but I don't think it. Where'd it go?
It's on there.
I don't think it is. Is it? Is it this one? No,
Oh,
that's
God.
not it.
That's
Who made a joke?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no.
That's not it. No.
Scary.
You'll find it.
Oh, no.
Not
That's
that.
It.
Uh-oh.
Is it this one? No. Okay. Well, we're done with that. All right. So Stephen, like I said, man, we want to hear all about the speech therapy book. You've got a book coming out. So what's great about this episode is it's going to air on the 15th. I think the 15th. Next Tuesday. Oh, so we drop episode every Tuesday at 2 p.m. You can get our podcast. And so September 22nd is when the book drops, right?
Yes, sir.
So perfect. So a week after people are listening to this right now, you'll be able. Now we can go and pre-buy it. What's it called?
No.
Pre-order?
Pre-order?
Yeah, pre-order.
Pre-buy it?
It won't be needed, man. I mean, because it's not for this one.
Okay. So tell us about it. Obviously, you went through speech therapy. You've been motivational speaking to youth the last couple of years. What is this book all about?
Man, this is actually about, man, helping and inspiring some other people to start telling their story. You know, because everybody have a story, man. That's why I think I love about when I travel to different schools. You know, people you think the motivational speaker talks and tell them about their life, but really I'm listening to their life and let them know, like, your life has something special and that other people need to know, that other people are struggling, man, you know. And I think that's why I look like this book is about, like, yes, I was struggling. And through that struggle, I was able to find what family means.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I will understand how to find my tribe, how to find my squad.
Yeah.
You know, and I understood how to stand up for myself, not just through fighting. And I talked about this moment, man, in the book, that I had a fight with this kid named Ernest, and he talked about me bad. He would call me stupid and all kinds of names, man, in the book. And one day I got tired of it, and I fought him. I beat him up bad. But check this out. I got suspended, and my dad told me, man, he was like, "But Stephen, you let him get you out your character."
Yeah.
he's never going to change. And Ernest didn't change. Like the next week, he was talking about somebody else. That was who he was.
Mm.
He said that's how the devil want to use you. He want to get you out your character. So I talked about, your values and saying who you are when no one's looking.
Yeah.
Like even like friendship, man. I had friends that they're not my friends anymore, not because, they did me wrong, but because of our journey. Sometimes don't line up for what God needs at that moment.
Right.
That doesn't mean you don't stop loving them.
Right.
Doesn't mean that God don't need you on that path right now. So I think that's hard for the youth nowadays, man, to realize, like, just because you like them and stuff doesn't mean you should be hanging out with them every single day. Doesn't mean you should be going to the house doing what they doing every single day, because that's not what God has for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And then man. Also, man, I talked obviously about my mom and my dad. Man, my dad a lot, and how he helped me to get to where I am now, man. Because it's crazy, because I spoke to thousands of youth, and I've spoken on some big stages, but none of those really hit home as much as me just being able to talk to my family, man. Just talk to my dad, and that's why I was telling people in the book that it's important that you enjoy this life with the people you love.
Right.
The big stages and the cameras and all the lights, man, that's very, very short lived. And so you need to have people in your life that will celebrate your ups and downs when everything is gone. And so that's why I was telling, man, make sure your life is one that you can look back on and say, job well done, because that's why I saw from my dad. Like my dad last day, man, it was crazy, because he still was wanting to pray. His last week in the hospital, I remember he say, "Stephen, keep going." You know what I'm saying? Like he said, keep going. I'm like, Dad, we about to go home. He's like, no, you have to keep going no matter what. And so that speaks therapy, man, point blank. Like I have to keep going no matter what. Even though I see a lot of stuff going on in the world, that doesn't mean I stop doing what God has for me. Which is helping, trying to support, trying to be a good friend, man, trying to be a good husband, trying to be a good, a son. I still have my mom. You know what I'm saying? I still have people. I still have my brother, man. I still have my sister. So it's not like I'm alone here. So I thank God for the opportunity he gave me even to be with my dad. And I also thank him for the new doors he has open. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's
so
good.
I practice what I preach, man. So this book is about actually practicing what I preach and what I was taught.
That's good, man. That's powerful.
Oh, yeah, man.
Keep going to
excited.
class.
Keep going to what?
I said keep going to class. That's the point you said before. Is like you didn't want to keep going to speech therapy.
Yeah.
But if you stopped, you want to be who you are. You wouldn't have written this book, I think. You wouldn't be who you are now and done all you've done. So keep going to class. That's
keep going to class. I love it, man.
That's the tag.
Maybe that's the title. Maybe that's the title of this episode.
Keep going. I love it, man.
Yeah, man.
You like that? All right, we'll keep that one.
That's good.
Man, we appreciate you so much.
Appreciate you guys.
Man,
thank you.
It was just, man, more than I expected for sure. Not that I didn't expect a great conversation, but definitely more than I expected. And I really appreciate you taking the time to really be vulnerable, share your heart, share where you're coming from. I mean, sometimes we think speakers, that's just second nature. It becomes second nature because you're a speaker, but no, every time you open up yourself, I'm sure that's an opportunity for you to kind of reflect on some of those things. And so I appreciate you being open and honest and telling us everything that we've talked about today. Connor, Chandler, y'all have anything else y'all like to say to Stephen?
I just said it. Just keep going to class, man. I mean,
love it.
What you've done already. Like, we can't. That's the thing. I spoke about this last time, I think, but just like the self-awareness. If we just keep learning, especially in the situations like that our world is going through right now, social justice and everything. If you cut yourself off from learning, then you're you're just dead in the water, like stagnant.
Yeah.
Somebody said something like that. Didn't maybe our guest did or some? I heard that somewhere else.
Yeah.
But that's. I mean, I feel like you really pointed that out, and hopefully
keep going to class.
Keep going to class. That's it.
I love it,
Keep
man.
learning.
Keep taking us to class too, man.
Keep taking us. Yeah.
You know, and those youth for sure. The youth that you're gonna be continuing to talk to.
Man, I appreciate you guys. I'll tell you guys this, man, real quick. Man, what you guys are doing is something special. I want to be on this podcast, man, because I think just for you guys to hear me, but I also need to know that it's still guys like you, man, that's fighting a good fight. It doesn't matter what color it is. It's about your heart, man. I can tell that from you guys. So, man, I was blessed just by this conversation, man, because even me as this motivational speaker, youth pastor, I need to be reminded that I'm not alone in this battle. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I got some backup, man. I think that's the biggest thing that I've taken away from this. Backup is coming and backup is here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's good.
And so I appreciate you guys, Connor, Chandler, man, Spencer, bro. I appreciate you guys so much. This been big, man, for me.
Man, we can't say it enough. I appreciate that. And then before we let you go, where can people follow you, keep up with you, and everything that's coming?
Yeah, man. On my Instagram, you can just probably type in Stephen Speaks Life on Instagram, and I'll pop up. Or you can just hit me up on Facebook, Stephen Simpson. I have all my information on my book coming up on that, man. I will have my book available in paperback, ebook, and audiobook available to you guys.
Yeah,
so, you know.
I saw that, man. Yeah, you recorded it. Super fancy.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. I had to.
It should be on audiobook, right?
It should.
Yeah.
Speech therapy. I mean,
well, there you go, people.
You're talking.
Make sure you follow him at Stephen Speaks Life. Stephen Simpson, thank you so much for joining us today on the Milkman Made Me podcast. Any final last words to our listeners before we let you go?
Man, I love you guys, man. Keep fighting a good fight, man, and go tell your story.
Yeah, that's good.
Amen.
Love you, dude. We love you.
Guys. Peace, guys.
Peace, man.
Man.
Good.
Best one yet.
I had to say I love him because I really, man. I was about to say too. I was about to say, hey man, we got to get together and have another football game.
One of these days.
But don't invite KT though. I'll take his knees out again.
Yeah, you don't want to hurt him. All his photography. He needs his knees
to be able to
move and
get shots.
You know, different stuff. But
that's funny,
man.
Not necessarily. He could use like a little crane. You know, just stand back and operate it. You know?
Chandler,
robot.
So you had a trip that you talked about. Last episode, you talked about you were going on the trip. By the time this episode drops, you've been back from the trip for about a week or so. But now you've been back for about a week, I guess now.
Yeah.
How was the trip? Kind of give us a quick recap so our listeners kind of know. They know you were going. They know you went. What happened?
Yeah. Tell us about it.
Tell us, a little quick
Just go ahead.
Tidbit.
I'll give you like a quick rundown.
Sorry.
Can I get a rundown? What is a twit bit? Is that like a snack?
Can I get a rundown? Nobody knows what a rundown is either.
Yeah.
I'll just faxing this rundown to my dad real quick.
Sorry, what's a rundown?
Hey, did you? What were the ways? Do you have a rundown for me to see? Anyways, office. Yeah, no. So I flew in on the 29th of August, Saturday. That was my birthday.
What time? What time?
Like I landed around like 10.
No, what time were you born?
Yeah. Oh, you'd have to ask mom and dad. I think it was like kidding. 12.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, go.
But yeah, no, I flew in.
Yeah, so you're old now.
I'm on the other half of being close to 30, which is terrifying.
Why is it terrifying?
It's weird.
It's so young.
God, maybe.
You have your whole life ahead of you.
I feel really old.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, Saturday, flew in, hung out. It was kind of raining in the area I was in, but we went to like the beach and literally just ate sandwiches and watched the rain. Then I got to where my host's home, like where I was staying, just kind of hung out. Being my birthday, we went out to a steak dinner. That was amazing. Then we watched the Black Panther because that was the day that we found out.
What'd y'all do?
Steak dinner.
Oh,
Wow. Great. And then we watched Black Panther. That was the day we found out, Chadwick Boseman died. So we just kind of watched that in like honor of him. Then Sunday I woke up, hung out, checked out this coffee shop. It's called the Drowsy Poet, but it's basically just Starbucks. Yeah, it's funny. And then Sunday night I got to speak. The biggest thing that I was kind of concerned about was being too short, like not having enough content to fill my time.
How long were you supposed to talk?
For an hour. I had an hour to share, and then I ended up, I shared my testimony, my story. Then I had like a word for their community that I just shared. The place that they meet's called The Table, and so I just talked about Psalm 23, sitting at the table.
Come to the table.
Wait,
is that how that goes?
I don't know.
All who are thirsty.
Oh, was I singing right?
I don't know.
No, sorry.
Come to.
But yeah,
that's good.
I got to speak, and it was really, really fun, really powerful. And then there was some ministry time, and prayed for some of the people in that community. Shared some prophetic words with them. And some of the stuff that just happened was really, really beautiful. And worship, their worship pastor, or I guess worship leader,
Team leader.
John Martin is his name, and he's super anointed. Like worship was amazing. Then Monday, I hung out with like their staff, and we just had they had staff meeting and kind of discussed some stuff that was happening in their region. Kind of vision casting about kind of what would happen. And then Tuesday I recorded a podcast. So Inner Cry Ministries.
Oh, their
podcast, yeah. So it should be dropping soon. I'm gonna share that stuff on my social media.
You're 2-time in our podcast, bro.
I'm being a guest on another podcast.
That's okay,
Dude, no, that's good for us.
Because I talked about us, and I talked about I even used an example because we were discussing about what I had shared Sunday night. John Martin asked me a really tough question. He said, your obedience led to the promises of God being unlocked. That he was like, that sounds like works. And I was like, no. Hear me out. Obedience. I'm obedient unto allegiance, not obedient to earn. Like,
It's good.
like under that essence. And I brought up an example with Connor, and I was like, it's like if my dad said, son, hey, you have 20 minutes to play Xbox, and then it's Connor's turn, right? So had I been obedient and listened, then after Connor was done playing, then it'd be my turn again. But if I was disobedient and said, no, I'm going to keep playing, well, then there was a delay in me being able to play Xbox again. Kind of how, just like my life, like there was, and I share about this in like what I spoke on Sunday. So it makes sense. Like, so that was really cool. It was interesting to like record a podcast. Like,
it makes me want to play Xbox
without you guys. Like, it was strange.
How was there? Not to
the setup,
not to compare. But
well, no, I mean, yeah,
it was cool. It was good.
Yeah. He uses like mics.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the setup.
I didn't even know what it was. It was a mic. I talked and
it worked.
Cool.
So yeah, that was fun.
What's the name of the podcast again?
Inner Cry Ministries.
Guys, go check that out.
Yeah.
Chandler, the episode's not out yet.
It hasn't dropped
He'll
yet.
go and share it on his.
I'm gonna share it on
he's
my
gonna
social
share
media and stuff.
And then of course we'll share it on ours.
Yeah.
We'll go listen to it first,
Sweet.
and if we want to or not. I don't know.
That's awesome, man.
But what's crazy too is so Wednesday, like I mentioned earlier in the episode, one of the sons of the ministry that I went to visit, his son's girlfriend, her dad. I was sitting in their house Monday night, last week. And I was just kind of sharing why I was in Alabama, like how the Lord had brought me there, and just the invitations and stuff. And he looks at me, and he looks at his wife. He's like, well, maybe you ought to come and speak to our youth group Wednesday night. And I was like, what? Like, okay, amazing, cool. And it was amazing too, because I ended up speaking, and I can officially say, like, I am a paid public speaker.
Got paid?
Yeah. So they gave me a love offering. That was so unexpected and kind of humbling because it was just like this bizarre opportunity. And then to get paid for it was so unexpected and
that's awesome, man.
amazing. So,
dude, I hope you keep getting to do that.
I know, man. Me too. I would love to get paid to speak.
Awesome.
My favorite thing.
Heck yeah.
And then I flew back Thursday.
Yeah.
And then Friday we went and got coffee, and
that's been a whole thing.
That's been a thing. Yeah. So, but I'm going to the doctor tomorrow to try to figure out what's going on. Been feeling rough in the morning, but
I want to talk more about that, but that's might be too personal.
No, he's been getting sick.
I've been getting sick
in the mornings.
It's kind of gross.
And in the afternoon, he's fine.
So it's morning sickness.
So he's pregnant.
So I was like, "Am I pregnant? Like,
he's pregnant."
I'm pregnant with promise.
No, he's pregnant with the Holy Spirit.
I'm pregnant with the Holy Ghost.
But seriously,
that's what I was like. Can I have spiritual morning sickness?
All right, what time are we at? Are we gonna keep going with this?
No, I think we're good. Yeah, that's my recap.
Because
that's it. Yeah,
we need to cut it because I
feel like you
home.
recapped.
He wants to go home. He's not feeling well.
I have to pee really bad too right now because I've been drinking a lot of fluids.
He's been drinking a lot of fluids, and that's a good thing.
That's good. Yeah.
So
I'm
Chandler,
retaining them.
We thank you
Yeah.
for sharing your recap with us and telling us about the trip. And praise God. Thank God for you having a good trip, being able to do some things and move. And, we may not even see the full fruit of everything that you did, from the time that you went. Maybe years from now.
Right. Yeah.
So that's really cool. Yeah. Also, before we get out of here, we want to make sure we thank Stephen Simpson again for joining us. And we would like to thank all our sponsors.
Thank you.
For all the support.
Thank you.
In all the ways.
Thank you.
And all the things.
Say it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Say thank you.
And to our friends and family. This is your fault because you encouraged us to chase our dreams.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, family, friends, brothers, sisters, cousins, all my brothers, sisters, and me, and my grandparents, and all you people out there who are listening. We love you. Just, please, don't do it again until tomorrow.
The Milkman made me. Oh, yeah. The Milkman made me. The Milkman made me.
Was that the newer outro?
No, that's the one we've used. And this is the same great fade out music.
I'm gonna be honest. I actually like it. Like, I was into that more than I was the last time. Like, I already kind of liked it, but I knew we had
up. Louder than I've ever done it.
That was it.
That's it. That's all I needed.
Well, because I know we have another one coming, but anyway.
I really got emotional today.
Yeah, you did.
I really did.
Does Chandler know we're still?
Yeah, we're still recording. He knows. This is the fade out. Any last words, Chan, on this episode?
No, I'm good.
Okay. You're going to clean up your setup before you leave, right? Well, Connor, anything else you want to say?
Are we doing our 2 minutes to talk?
No.
We don't do that?
Not every time.
And
why did you have 2 minutes that you prepared? You didn't even prepare anything.
No, I was thinking about some stuff, but
I just hope this.
Hold on. Yeah. Are we only doing 2 minutes to talk on normal episodes?
Yeah, not every time. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
We need to talk.
Well, this is the thing. I really hope our listeners rock with us.
Talk softer. We talk soft on this part.
Yeah, sorry. I really hope our listeners rock with us these last 2 episodes because...
Or jazz with us.
Jazz with us.
Since this is
that's more of a jazzy.
I hope you guys jazz.
Because, yeah.
Why?
They are an hour and a half.
Dude.
I know that doesn't matter.
Brother, let me tell you, brother.
Okay, now you're talking more hippie.
Brother. Bro. No, seriously, let me tell you though, bro.
Yeah.
if they're true listeners and
If they're true 2%ers,
true 2%ers, man, they will listen.
Are you true?
true moo 2%ers.
No, we can't say
call it
true.
Oh,
That's-
sorry.
No, we can't do that.
Oh, God, we have to scrap this whole episode now. All
We're
those
not
the great
sponsored.
things Steven said.
Yeah, man.
Yo, Steven's legit.
You gotta whisper on this
Whisper,
part.
man.
Steven's legit.
Not
Yes.
whisper, just
Not whisper.
Steven's
Soft.
legit, man.
Yes.
He's amazing.
He's
And
so
I'm
good.
definitely gonna DM him about some speaking opportunities. I'm just kidding. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
I really did get emotional, guys. Y'all saw it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude, man.
If we had kept talking, I would have cried.
Yeah,
this was a good one.
it was
I
a
hope,
good.
I hope not to like Jared last episode or was it no
No,
to
Mitch.
the second episode when we had Jared and he said, "Yeah, I like making people cry." When I was like, "No, you don't like making people cry, you know."
It's
the
emotional.
emotional
Yeah, the
provoking.
emotion. It's
Yeah.
good. It's beautiful. To feel things.
All right. To all you true 2%ers,
Yeah.
thank you for joining us this week on the Milkman Made Me podcast.
We hope you cry and
What?
laugh and laugh.
What's the title of this episode?
Smile. Keep going to class.
Keep going to class.
Or what was the last? I got your back. What did he say?
Huh?
They got my back? No.
No.
Okay, keep going to class.
Keep going to class is lit.
That's it.
I like it.
Or speech therapy.
I thought about that too.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Bye.